Every time she got intimate with her husband, she had to take painkillers. The late stages of her uterine cancer had left her unable to bear the agony any longer, yet she still forced herself to give her body to her husband. But whenever he finished satisfying his desires, he wasted no time rushing to other women. The reason he treated her this way: 3 years ago, he was a poor scholar, determined to marry the love of his life. They had promised each other that after he passed his imperial exams, they would finally tie the knot. However, at the last moment, the woman changed her mind. She coldly told him that she was going to marry into a wealthy family, and she no longer wanted anything to do with him. She even returned the token of their love, vowing to never see him again. His heart shattered into pieces. He thought she had played him, believing she was just another gold digger. From that day on, he turned his love into hatred, vowing that one day, he would make her pay. But what he didn't know was that behind her ruthless decision, she was trying to save his life. Her stepmother had planted assassins near him to force her into marrying an old tycoon. The marriage she entered turned into her own personal hell. Her days after were filled with endless shame and torment. In just 3 years, he had risen to become the most powerful man in the country, the prime minister, and with his newfound power, he finally seized the chance to bring her back into his life. On their wedding day, he deliberately didn't show up, leaving her to face the mocking and ridicule of others alone. They even forced her to marry a rooster in his place. She thought she had escaped one prison, only to fall into another deeper abyss. He claimed he didn't care about her past, but he tormented her every day. She was no longer his cherished wife. She had become his toy, to use and discard at his whim. What he didn't realize was that her body had already been ravaged by cancer. Every day, she counted down the days left in her life. She understood that he hated her to the core, but when she learned her days were numbered, she felt that no explanation could change anything. She quietly accepted his cruelty, seeing it as her punishment for breaking his heart in the past. Only her maid knew that she was at death's door. To give their love one final dignity, she decided to end it all before her time ran out. With a heavy heart, she placed the divorce papers in front of him. The sight of her resolve filled him with rage. He couldn't stand the thought of her trying to escape him again. He hated her, but he couldn't let her go. To him, she was the bird trapped in his cage, meant to stay forever. In his thirst for revenge, he made a horrifying demand. He would only agree to the divorce if she performed in a brothel, in front of a crowd. She knew it was just another way to humiliate her, but she had no choice. She swallowed her pride, and danced for her freedom in front of everyone. But no matter how hard she tried, he wasn't satisfied. He never expected that her resolve to break free was stronger than anything he could have imagined. She would rather lose her last shred of dignity in that moment than continue to live in this loveless prison.